Hello, guys, and welcome to the Zone of Tech, and also to the fourth episode of the epic battle between the iPhone 4S and the Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini. In this episode, we will be taking a look at the specs and do a speed comparison between the iPhone 4S and the S3 Mini, and see which one is faster and which one is, slower. Okay, so taking a look at the specs, the Apple iPhone 4S features an A5 dual-core 1 GHz CPU. Now, unfortunately, it only features 512 megabytes of RAM, which is kind of low for today's standards. And also, you can choose from 16, 32, and 64 gigabyte capacities, but you cannot extend that storage. So you do not have an option for a micro SD card slot like you do on the Galaxy S3 Mini. Also, the Galaxy S3 Mini gets you a dual-core 1 GHz CPU, the same clock speed as on the iPhone, then 1 gigabyte of RAM, which is twice the amount of RAM as on the iPhone 4S, then 8 or 16 gigabytes capacity, but don't forget that you can extend this with an SD, with a micro SD card slot, which you cannot do on the iPhone. So let's say you want to extend this to 40 gigabytes, you just pop the back cover off and insert a 32 gigabyte micro SD, and automatically, boom, your 8 gigabyte S3 Mini turns into a 40 gigabyte S3 Mini for half the price, which is awesome. So huge thumbs up for the S3 Mini. Okay, so let's start the speed comparison of these two devices. So obviously on the left we have the iPhone 4S, and on the right we have the Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini. So let's start off with a boot speed comparison. So I'm trying to do this with only one hand because I'm using my other hand to record this. So, yes, success. They're both on, and let's see which one turns on first. Okay, so after a long wait, the winner is the Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini, but the iPhone 4S was only 1 second behind. So the Galaxy S3 Mini wins the booting part, although the iPhone 4S was only 1 second behind. Okay, so I have a selection of apps, as you can see on the Galaxy S3 Mini, and I'm going to launch the same apps on the iPhone 4S and see which device opens the apps faster. Okay, so first off, let's make sure we have no apps running in the background, so the test is fair. So on the Android, we have no recent apps, but let's just clear the memory just in case. And on the iPhone, we have this boring and useless way of closing the apps, which takes forever. Okay, so finally, so all the apps are closed. Now let's start the test. Okay, so the first app is Angry Birds, so let's launch it. 1, 2, 3, go. And as you can see, the Galaxy S3 Mini was a bit faster. Let me just turn down the volume a bit. Okay, now let's launch the game and see which one is more fluid. Should be about the same. And again, both games are really fluid. Okay, now guess what? I'm not going to close the apps because I want to see when a phone is going to lag. So let's see how many apps can we keep opened in the background. Anyway, let's do the second app comparison, which is Angry Birds Seasons. 1, 2, 3, go. About the same time. Actually, they both launched at the exact same time. No difference at all. Okay, so let's do the next comparison, which is Temple Run. So in this case, as you can see, the iPhone won by far. But the game looks pretty much the same on both devices. I can see no difference at all. Actually, on the iPhone, I think the textures are a bit better, if you can see for yourself, but there's not much of a difference, honestly. If you look at these rocks, there's a small difference. Okay, next off, Temple Run 2. 1, 2, 3, go. And again, the iPhone was faster than the Galaxy S3 Mini, and only 20% battery left, unfortunately. Remind me later. Now let's take a look at the game and see on which device it looks better. Okay, so as far as I can tell, the textures are a lot better on the iPhone than on the Galaxy S3 Mini, so let me just pause it at the exact same place on the iPhone, if I can do that. Okay, so it's about the same place. Now just look at the texture. Just look at this image. See, it's more sharp on the iPhone, whereas on the Galaxy S3 Mini, it is not as sharp as on the iPhone. Okay, now the next test is going to be really demanding because it is one of the best games on the market, one of the games with the best graphics on the market. It is Real Racing 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, so the game is running on both devices. Unfortunately, I cannot skip this on the Galaxy S3 Mini. So let's do the tutorial. Rotate to the right. Now again, if you want to see my review of this game on the iPad 4, just click the annotation above and you will be taken to the video. Trust me, it's one of the best games in the world in terms of graphics for any mobile device. So this is for changing the camera. Okay, now I gotta tell you something. The graphics on the Galaxy S3 are not as good as on the iPhone. I'm gonna demo this for you in a second. Let me just turn the music down. So let me just start a race. Let's say this one. Let me see. This one I'm gonna choose a car, which is this one. And I'm gonna show you something. Okay, so just take a look at both devices. As you can see on the iPhone, you can even, no. So let me go back. So as you can see on the iPhone, you can even see the reflection in the mirror, whereas on the Galaxy S3, there's white. There's nothing in the rear mirrors, so you cannot see any reflection at all. So this is because of the graphics power, the graphics performance of the iPhone 4S, which is by far way superior to the Galaxy S3 Mini. Now taking a look at the cars, I don't know if you can tell from the video, but also on the Galaxy S3 Mini there's no anti-aliasing. This means that there are some sharp edges which are not smooth on the vehicle. Let me try and show you this. I don't think it's visible on the camera, but see, it's not as sharp as on the iPhone. Let me just focus the iPhone. And also you do not get this really nice looking reflection that you get on the iPhone. So I hope you can tell the difference of those two devices. Now again, taking a look at the graphics of those two cars, Ford RS, you can see that the difference is huge. So taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini, this is how the car looks, and now on the iPhone. So as you can see, you can even see the emblem of the car right there, Ford RS. Hope you can see that. And on the Galaxy S3 Mini, the RS isn't as visible as on the iPhone, and for some reason this bit on the front, I have no idea what it's called, is blue instead of black like on the iPhone. So yeah, these are some minor aesthetic differences between the iPhone 4S and the Galaxy S3 Mini. Now also, just take a look at the yellow car. You can see how on the Galaxy S3 Mini there's no anti-aliasing, but on the iPhone it looks really sharp. Although honestly the car is it's gray on the iPhone and yellow on the Galaxy S3. Now, of course, that the battle is not complete without doing a speed test.net comparison. Now, basically, this is a internet connection speed test between the iPhone 4S and the Galaxy S3 Mini. So let's test. Let's see which device has a faster internet connection. Now, unfortunately, this is not a fair test because both phones are connected to the same Wi-Fi network, which means that they will both be robbing each other's bandwidth. So let's see which device performs faster. So 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, so I'm going to do the test one more time because iPhone is connected to Liverpool and the Galaxy S3 is connected to Preston. So let's start a test. Let me see if I can choose a different server. Okay, so change server. Let's see, Liverpool. Oh, it's not available, that's weird. Okay, let's do Manchester. Okay, change server. Okay. And let's do the test again. 1, 2, 3. Or for some reason the server didn't change. Well, actually, maybe it did. 1, 2, 3, go. Should be okay now. Okay, so for some reason the Galaxy S3 Mini isn't doing so well. It's only getting 2 megs per second, whereas the iPhone is getting 8 megs. Also, take a look at the latency. At the ping on the Galaxy S3 Mini, 201 milliseconds versus 10 milliseconds on the iPhone 4S. And the test is done. So 8 megabytes per second download speeds on the iPhone 4S, 5 megs on the Galaxy S3 Mini, 5 megs upload on the 4S, and 3 megs on the S3 Mini. So let's do the test again just to make sure that there was nothing wrong with the S3 Mini. 1, 2, 3, go. And I'm going to let the the Galaxy S3 Mini start first. So as you can see, the speed is a lot higher than on the iPhone 4S. Well, actually no, the iPhone 4S now has about 5.6 megs. Yeah, so the speed is about the same. So indeed, at the first try, the Galaxy S3 Mini had some problems, but now it is back on track with an even higher upload speed than on the iPhone 4S. So I'm going to give those phones a tie for the speedtest.net round because they are pretty much identical. Okay, so now I have Chrome up and running on both devices. I've cleared the cache and also the history, so let's check out and see which device opens up the web pages faster. Okay, so let's start a test with apple.com and see which device loads the page faster. 1, 2, 3, go. So the iPhone 4S won. Now let's try it with samsung.com. So let me get this on both phones. So samsung.com. Samsung.com. Okay, let's try and see if the Samsung loads its homepage faster. 1, 2, 3, go. And no, the iPhone was still a lot faster than the Galaxy S3 Mini. Now let's try a different web page, such as I don't know, CNN, CNN.com, CNN.com. 1, 2, 3, go. And again, the iPhone 4S was a lot faster. Okay, let's try launching some videos and see which device launches videos faster. Okay, so I have my channel up and running on both devices on the official YouTube app, so they should have the same speed. So let's try and launch my camera comparison of the iPhone 4S versus the Galaxy S3 Mini and see which one loads faster. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, so the Galaxy S3 Mini was faster in this case. Okay, now let's try different videos, such as, I don't know, let me see, the design. Yeah, the design. So yes, again, the Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini was a bit faster than the iPhone 4. Finally, let's open up as many apps as we can on both phones and see which phone is going to lag first. Okay, so let's see. Downloaded apps, Fruit Ninja. Okay, so I think the Galaxy S3 Mini already lagged a bit. What else? Flashlight. Then let's go back. Then let's open up, I know, Twitter. Let's go back. Then let's open up Shazam. Let's go back and let's open up, I know, Flipboard. Okay, let's go back and open up, I know, the camera. Then Maps. Working internet connection. That's weird because I'm connected to the internet, but Maps doesn't work for some reason. Let's open up internet. Okay, let's open up Memo. Then let's open up Clock. I think that's it. Let's try opening the same amount of apps on the iPhone. So the Clock, then Google Maps. Actually, this is Apple Maps. Let's open up Google Maps as well. Okay, then let's open up a bunch of different apps, such as Temple Run Oz, and then Fruit Ninja. Okay, then what else? Pocket God, and the Plants vs. Zombie. I think now we have the same amount of apps running on both devices. Well, let's open up, Safari as well. I was looking at the Nexus 4, by the way. Okay, so now we have a lot of apps running on both phones, as you can see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 actually. So we have 16 apps running on the iPhone, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yes, I'm gonna close. Actually, I'm gonna open 3 more apps on the iPhone. So let's see. Motion X Dice, what else? Bad Piggies, and the calendar app. Okay, so now we have 19 apps running on both devices, and let's see which one lags and which one doesn't. So first off, the iPhone. So a lot of apps, no lag so far. Opening folders, going to settings, everything is really fluid, so no lag so far. Open up different pages, scrolling to different pages, everything is really fluid. Let's open up the camera. Let's take some photos without the flash. No lag at all, really fluid, no problems at all. Now let's try the same thing on the Galaxy S3 Mini. Okay, so scrolling through pages is really fluid. Again, on the apps is really fluid. Whoops, I've noticed, yeah, there's some lag on the widgets. When I switched to widgets, I had some lag, but that was no serious lag, that was just a bit. Let's try opening the camera as well, which is on my home screen. So camera, let's take a couple of photos. Let's see how fast it takes. It's pretty fluid, no problems at all. So as a conclusion, I think that both phones are really fluid. The iPhone is a bit more fluid than the Galaxy S3 Mini, but there's not much of a difference. Finally, let's finish this off with a shutdown comparison between the iPhone 4S and the Galaxy S3 Mini and see which device turns off faster. So, as you probably know, the booting round was won by the Galaxy S3 Mini. So now let's see if the iPhone will win this round. So 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, the iPhone was faster, so yeah, the iPhone won this round. Okay, so finally let's take a look at all the tests we've been gone through with those devices, the iPhone 4S and the Galaxy S3 Mini, and finally pick a winner. So the first test was the specs, in which the winner is the Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini only because it has 1 GB of RAM versus the iPhone 4S, which only has 512 megabytes. And also you can expand the storage with a micro SD card slot, which unfortunately you cannot do on the iPhone. The second test was the boot time and shutdown time comparison, which was pretty much a tie. Basically, the iPhone 4S won the shutdown time, while the Galaxy S3 Mini won the boot time test. But anyway, the difference wasn't that huge. There was only like a second difference between those two devices, so they both booted up and shut down really fast. Same goes for the app launching time, because both phones launched apps in pretty much the same time. The only difference being that the iPhone had insane graphics compared to the Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini. So again, the iPhone is a better gaming machine than the S3 Mini. Then the fifth test was internet speed test and opening some web pages. Now the Galaxy S3 Mini had some problems on the internet speed test, but only at the beginning. Then at the end it had no problems with the speed test. It actually got an even higher upload speed than the iPhone 4S. Anyway, when opening some web pages on Google Chrome, the iPhone 4S was the clear winner. So the iPhone 4S wins this test as well. And finally, test number 6 was the stress test or the lag test. So I opened up 19 apps on both phones, and there was no lag at all, except for a tiny little bit of lag on the Galaxy S3 Mini, but the iPhone 4S had no lag at all. Anyway, they were pretty much equal. The lag wasn't that horrible on the S3 Mini, so that is why I am considering this a tie. Okay, so having said this, which phone is faster? Is it the iPhone 4S or the Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini? Well, as you can see from the tests, the iPhone 4S is pretty much winning. But guess what? I declare this a tie only because the iPhone 4S doesn't have a micro SD card slot, which is a key factor in deciding the specs of those two phones. So this is why the iPhone 4S gets 4 out of 5 stars, and the S3 Mini also gets 4 out of 5 stars. So congratulations to the iPhone 4S and the Galaxy S3 Mini for both winning the specs and speed round. Okay, so this was basically it. This was the 4th round of the epic battle between the iPhone 4S and the Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini. So thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to give me a like if you enjoyed this video. Also, please subscribe to my channel for more epic battles between the 4S and the S3 Mini. Also, click on a thumbnail if you want to be taken to a specific chapter in this epic battle series. So by clicking the design, obviously you will be taken to the design. And same goes for the value, screen, camera, speed, blah blah, and so on. Also, by clicking the center button, the yellow button in the middle, you will be taken to the main video, from which you can choose different videos as well. So again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to give me a like on Facebook and follow me on Twitter via Zone of Tech. And see you in the next video. And until then, cheers.